Next question is from Eric via email. Hey, brother, I'm brewing a saison tomorrow. By the way, I've already answered this question with this person, so like there's no timestamp warning on this. I'm brewing a saison tomorrow. A little nervous about introducing STA1 into my brewery. I figure I'll clean the hell out of my FV after. Anything else I should focus on? So, what is it? Well, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. STA1 positive. That's what it'll say. So it's like diastaticus, I believe. It's a yeast strain that has the capacity to further break down non-fermentable sugars into fermentable sugars, which is often the secret sauce behind some of these saisons, right? Which are known for getting very dry. And yeah, so yeah, it's correct, Bobby. It is diastatic. But I was wondering I can't remember what the STA1, that might be the gene that's present. But anyways, somebody in the chat can clue me in if I'm not remembering right off the top of my head. But the idea is, you know, they always list this, different manufacturers list this now on their breakdown of the, you know, what the strain is, you know, the strain information chart. So the deal is with these yeasts is you don't want this stuff being left behind. You don't want a situation where you can get kind of like a diastaticus like infection in your brewery. So, but do know that this is it is just yeast. Some people may hate what I'm about to say, but yeah, I don't have an issue with running it. I probably would, and this is me, and maybe I'm a little bit crazy, but I would probably take everything off of that tank that is a soft or has a softer part of it. So any valve, because the valve seat is a soft, right? So any gaskets, valves, or sample ports that went into that after running through a regular CIP, I would probably pressure cook those things. Or if you have the autoclave, I would autoclave them afterwards. You don't have to. Maybe you think I'm crazy. That's fine. But I would do those things. I would take the any valve or gasket that came into contact with that beer. That's an option if you're very, very concerned about it. I would do the same thing on the bright tank side. Remember all the things that are soft that go into that tank, including the underneath gaskets that maybe don't get swapped out every time you clean, stuff like that. Also, I would look very closely at that transfer line that you used. It might be a situation where you would want to hook up a loop with your hot liquor tank once you have cleaned that with caustic and acid, and then loop that up and circulate that and circulate, 185 degree water through it, Fahrenheit, or 85 C water through it for a half hour to kind of get, or maybe even a little bit longer, depending on whatever works for you, to get into sterilization range for that from a temperature standpoint. So yeah, those are some of the things you can do. If you really want to dive in on the keg side too, you can nerd out on that side as well. But I think those are some options. I think as long as you have really good CIP practices and you do some things like I just mentioned, you really shouldn't have any issue using that. I know people do less. I know, like, so Bobby F, STA1, the gene that encodes glucoamylase in yeast. Yeah, boy. Not sure what it stands for. Me either, but thanks for looking that up, Bobby. I appreciate it. Andrew's pumped because I'm using metric. There's only a few direct ones that I know, so I try to flex them when I can. Thanks for the email, Eric.